Всем привет, с вами Кварта Бир. Я приехал на пивоварню Dolle Brewery, которая находится в маленьком городке Эссен в Бельгии. Эта пивоварня основана в 1980 году. С тех пор варит пиво, и отличительная ее особенность в том, что при том, что сортов не так много, все они настолько хорошо поддержаны выдержкой, что вы до сих пор можете попробовать сорта 87 года в кафе «Кульминатор» в Антверпене. От Эссена сюда достаточно сложно, потому что, как водится, автобус практически никогда не ходит. Я дошел сюда пешком, это у меня заняло где-то 30 минут. Открыт только в субботу и в воскресенье с 2 до 7. И сейчас должен был быть тур, я на него опоздал на 17 минут, никого здесь не вижу, только велосипед.
Welcome to the Dolle Brouwers. Here we are at the bottlery. This is where we put the beer inside of the bottles. As you can see, it's quite old, but it's still very functionable. Let's say we operate it about 2 times in a month, something like that, but that's only one morning, 4 hours, so we can put, I think, 18,000 bottles in that whole morning. So about 4,500 bottles an hour. Let's introduce myself also. I'm the brewer here since 5 years. But normally I don't do these tours, but that's the owner, but he's in Italy right now, so I'm taking over today. The brewery has also a large history. So it's been founded in 1835. But not by precisely, not by this family, but it was first family Nevejean. Then it was until 1880, I guess, yeah. Then it was Costenoble. That was almost 100 years until 1980 when Chris Hertelier, the current owner, took over. So he's now almost 40 years owner of this brewery. Yeah. Also, I say a large history because the First World War, more than 100 years ago, right now, the people of this town called Essen were here as well. So we have some basements there, and our strong basements. So first they were here for shelter, and so to hide for the Germans.
Wow.
But when it was taken over, so the Germans were until here, but 4 kilometers that way, they were stopped at the river called the Ezer. But so this was occupied by the Germans, and they had to shelter here. And they were locked away, even people, very bad conditions. So that's also part of the history of here. But now about the beers again. We have 6 different kinds of beer. I don't know which one you have tasted.
I've tasted our beer, Stilnacht, the fresh one.
Arabier.
And
the one
Arabier
you
as well.
Tasted right now.
Right now it was Arabier.
Oh yeah, okay. You mentioned sweet, so we have Arabier. It's a blonde bitter one.
Yeah.
Then we have Stilnacht, it's a very heavy one, but that's our Christmas ale. Yeah, so it's 12 degrees. It's kind of sweet. Yeah. So and then we have Lita Urbier. It's sweet but also a bit sour. Yeah. And it's dark. Then we have the Mad Bitch. That's our triple. It's also quite sweet. And then the Boskun. That's our Easter beer. That's also sweet because we use candy sugar. Yeah, and then we have our stout, which is also on draft right now.
Yeah.
That's our stout beer, comparable to Guinness. So here is where we put beer in bottles. It's quite old, but it's still functional. That's not functional anymore. There was a washing machine that over there. It's been broken for about 5 years. So now we also always use fresh bottles. So we don't clean the bottles anymore.
And how old is the equipment?
I couldn't really tell. It's been
more than 50 years.
Yeah. Certainly, yes. That's something he used from the previous owner still, but he has cleaned it up because it was really a mess. If I've heard it, I'm not 50 years old, so I cannot say that. Yeah. So here we have the re-fermentation room, where it's about 20 to 25 degrees. Do you know about beer production? I guess so. Yeah. So re-fermentation happens here. It's ideal if it gets about 3 and a bit bar. Then we have enough pressure in the beer to get enough foam and enough carbonation. So those are actually ready. Those are inside right now. So here you see a few paintings and drawings. That's all from Chris Hertler himself. He's a drawer. Oh. Yeah, it's all made from himself. Normally there were some posters over there, but we are in construction right now. So they have moved. So this is where I actually start if I have a brewing day. So there are most of the time 2 times we brew in a week. What I have to do to start is the day beforehand. I take the malt and I put it in here.
Wow.
So I have here, that's a pump, some kind of pump. It takes the malt up through there. We'll continue the story of that. So that's what I have to do, put the malts in there, the malts I need, and also heat up water. That's with this system to heat the water. So those are 2 things I need to have when I get started in the morning. I need to have hot water and crushed malts. So that's something I do the day beforehand. What we see here is hop plants. So it's not hops we use ourselves, because if you would want to have your own hops, you would have to have 100 plants like that for just one brew. So it's not. It's just yeah. And that tube, do you know what that's for? The tube you see coming out of the wall. So that one.
I can only imagine. I don't know.
Yeah, it's to use the used grains, the used malts.
Oh.
We put through there. So the farmer comes with his cart and puts it under.
Okay.
That's feed for the cows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've brewed because we're under construction. We are building a whole new tank room where we keep our beers cool. So it's completely under construction. So it's been more than a month since we've brewed. So it's a bit dusty right now, but it's all still operable. It's here where we still produce the beer. So this is where the hot water is. So from the day before, and then the crushed malts who are being pumped is going through here. And it's getting crushed by this mill, and then pumped over until the next room. Yeah. So that's what's happened the day before, and then we're ready to go. What you also see here. So normally, if you would look through this window, you would see all our tanks, but now it's yeah, they're all gone.
Okay.
It's under construction. And here we have our hop room where we keep our hops.
Do you use hops from Belgium or?
Yeah, we use whole hops. We all use the flowers itself, not pellets or oil. Yes, it's made in Belgium in Poperingen. It's all from the region of Poperingen. It's Witbread Golding variety. That's the one on the left, and on the right it's Nugget.
Great.
Okay, so I'm then ready to go. And then we're here. this is where we mix the grains, so the crushed grains, with hot water. Yeah, and then it's getting mixed by this, yeah, and it gets heated up until 60 degrees. So the water that's coming from there is 100 degrees, but because of the grains are not that hot and a bit cold water as well, we get a mixture of 63 degrees. Do you know why that is?
Yeah, this is the first pause of the melting process.
Yeah. Okay. So then we let it stand here for about half an hour, and then it goes through there, and it gets pumped into the boiling tank over there. It's behind the walls. And then we repeat it. We add again hot water until 73 degrees, and to get all the sugars out of it, and then again let it pump over until there. That takes up about in total, an hour or 4, so from 8 until 12, something like that.
So you're getting the malts here heated up to 60 degrees, then
it gets out.
It gets out, and the other batch you're getting for 70 degrees.
Yeah, we do it in 2 steps. It's not all of the. Yeah, it's not all in 1 step. You could do that as well as like that, but it's not big enough otherwise.
Okay.
So, then it gets to boiling point at 100 degrees, and we add our hops or sugar if needed. But not all our beers have sugar. Our beer doesn't have sugar. Stille Nacht, Boskön, Dolle Brouwers, and which one am I forgetting? Mad Bitch. They do have sugar, but our beer and stout doesn't have sugar.
Okay.
Okay, and then we put it after an hour or an hour and a half boiling. We put it inside here. This is the cool ship. The name would suggest it is to cool down, but that's not the primary cause for this. What it is meant for, it is to settle down. All the parts of grains that maybe come along, or some other stuff that can settle down, is to keep on the bottom. That's why it is quite large and a bit high, so it can move steadily through. And then after an hour just standing here, we let it go through over those pipe system you can see over there, but we will go downstairs so you will see it better. And it will cool down from about 100 degrees here until 25 degrees, ideally for the fermentation, of course. Okay?
Great. And what is the volume of the boiling machine?
Boiling about 4,000 liters if you would go completely full. But we do till about 3,000 liters.
Okay.
So you see as well, we could go higher. You see where the beer mostly stands, and not the beer, it's the water, of course.
Yeah.
It's mostly here. We could go more, but then we would have less alcohol, and we want strong beers. Okay. We'll go downstairs here, but it's watch your step because it's quite steep. Or maybe if you're not. Yeah.
If I'm not quite sober.
then you might. So here's also a bit under construction right now, so don't really mind it. But it's just, so it's here where it's being cooled down. That system is called a Bolo cooler. So the wort is running on the outside, and cool water is on the inside. I think if you're starting a new brewery right now, systems like that aren't allowed anymore. Yeah. But if you have it, you can keep using it. So I think it's also quite authentic for us.
Yeah.
And then it gets to our fermentation tanks, but I'm not going to show that. He doesn't really like it if I show that. Okay, we can go through there then, and then maybe go to the basements. Where we have our beers on barrels. So that's where our new tanks will come.
Yeah.
And it's under construction, as you see. Watch your head.
Yeah.
this is where we keep our barrels, beer on barrels. It's we have beer, which we put on barrels. That's called Reserva, and of course we also have Stille Nacht Reserva. I don't know if you've heard of those beers or have tasted them.
Reserve versions, no. I don't even know where I can get them.
No, it's not easy to get. Yeah. So here we put it on barrels, and it's 2 years. We put it on barrels. So we're not really fond of other breweries that do like 2 months or something. We think it's only if it's more than a year, you really get a different beer. So we do it 2 years. Yeah.
And where can you possibly try reserve versions?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Over here, or you distribute it somehow?
We try and distribute it to our best customers, I guess. And a few, if you have a lot, then you might get some. But yeah, the wood beer is now still on barrels, so it's not for the right. Maar baby, the Stille Nacht is it's not ready to sell yet, but it won't take that long anymore.
Okay.
So we'll keep in touch, I'd say. Yeah. So we have a new system not that long ago where we can put two on top of each other. If you want, you can have a smell. That's 1 year now, so June 2018.
Stille Nacht?
Yeah, Stille Nacht Reserva. Wow.
Completely different smell from the...
Yeah, maybe I can even take some out. I see there's a bottle of glass here, it's not. Would you take some out?
Wow, thank you.
There you go.
Ну это нечто, конечно. Смесь портвейна, вина, сладость, кислота, виноград, сливы. Обалдеть можно. Прям фруктовый такой аромат. Супер просто. This is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried it?
No, it's been a while since I tried it.
It's very fruity.
Right, it's been a while since I tasted one that's only been in barrels for a year.
A lot of hints of different heavy alcohol.
Yeah.
And fruity, lots of fruits like grapes, plums, vinous, plus some hints of, I don't know, even porter maybe.
Yeah, so we use red wine barrels.
It's just
We have
incredible.
a bit of the tannins as well, I guess. But yeah, alcohol, yeah.
Very sophisticated aroma and taste.
Our vision is that you have to have strong beer, strong base beer to start with. So if you have like beers that aren't really, that don't have a body,
Yeah.
if you put that on a barrel, it's not.
It just doesn't have any reason.
You can have the last one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. But it might be actually pretty, you know, you don't understand that it's got alcohol before it packs the punch, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it goes very smoothly, but I guess there's more than 11 of alcohol.
Yeah. It's more than 12, so it's hard to do the re-fermentation. But once that's all right, it's almost 13% then.
Yeah.
If you drink a few of them, it's yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's a brief summary of our brewery.
Yeah, pretty much great. And one question: do you have some secret between how you do the beers so good that after 30 years they are still evolving?
That's a tough question. It's not really a secret, I guess, but we think it all starts with the right ingredients. Yeah, not really a secret, I guess. I think most of the industrial brewers they try to, lower the costs of everything, and then everything the quality suffers because of it. So
Well,
I guess it all starts with that,
that's
and the
great.
right yeast, of course. Yeah, that's to me most important.
Yeah, because I've never tried a beer rather than the Doll that evolved so much with the years, because I've had a Oer beer from 1987 in Culminator Cafe, and it just evolved. It lost all the carbonization mostly, but it still developed like a...
Yeah, it's still drinkable.
Yeah, it's not drinkable, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Even.
Yeah. And 1987.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they still got lots of crates of Stilnacht from 1987, so one of the bottles is going back to Moscow with me. I'm gonna try it with the fresh version, because we only got the Doll since this year. Oer beer and Stilnacht came in small batches, and they are pretty much expensive, but at least we can try it at least, because...
And Russia itself? Yeah. They sell it in Russia?
Yeah.
Okay.
From this year only.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh,
where are you from in Russia then?
Moscow.
Moscow? Okay.
So thank you for the tour. It was great. This is a real brewery with the history, so it's pretty amazing and interesting to look into it.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.